Good afternoon. I hope that you're enjoying this tarot session. I decided in a spur of the moment thing to do it for you. I felt equipped to do it for you. But it does take discipline to put up and get a card ready for you every day, because I just can't waffle on just playing it by ear. I do prepare something, and when you see me looking downwards, I'm probably looking at a few notes that I have prepared, as I have today. Before we start, because today we're learning about the Wheel of Fortune, I thought I would, being a biblical kind of person, speak to you about the prayer of Jabez. I don't know whether you've heard of it. It was very popular some years ago, and it's in Chronicles 4:9, I think. And in this, Jabez, by the way, means born in pain. So his mother obviously had a very painful time when he was born, enough so that she would name him Jabez to let him know that he was born in pain as well, and how often does that happen in our lives? When we may not be called Jabez, but our parent lets us know in no uncertain terms that the whole process of our growing up wasn't terribly happy. Well, Jabez, in spite of the fact that he was reminded many times a day about his difficult birth, by consequence of his name, he made the most outrageous, at that time, prayer. Instead of saying to God, as most prayers do, if you give me this, I'll give you that. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. Like when Cat Stevens was drowning and he said, if you save me, I will devote my life to you. And he was saved, and he has devoted his life to God. But Jabez didn't do that. Jabez said, bless me indeed. He didn't muck about. He wanted to be blessed. And then he said, enlarge my lands, or enlarge my shores, depending on the translation that you read. Which means, I don't want to be second best. I want to have more. And he's also said, always be with me, keep evil from me, and the Lord answered his prayer. So if you sit down for your meditations and you just sort of bless me indeed is your prayer, instead of just sitting, or you give me this, I'll give you that kind of prayer, or I'm not good enough kind of prayer, remember Jabez. He was one of 7 brothers, I think, and he just said, bless me indeed. We don't know anything about the brothers, but goodness me, everybody who is a biblical scholar or a minister or who studies the Bible would know the prayer of Jabez. So by being adventurous and being straightforward and saying what he wanted, he got it. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, there we are. Wheel of Fortune. They're my cards, the Revelation Tarot. If you want to buy the full deck, and it is rather lovely, if I may say so, just go on to www.myyogabooks.etsy.com, or you can go to www.janehopewilliams.net, and that will get you there. But the Etsy site is a good one. So this card is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury, like the metal it's named after, it adjusts, it moves. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. Upright, it's the law of cycles or karma. So remain positive. Even when things don't look good, the wheel is turning. So luck and opportunity are there for you. You just have to take the plunge. If you get the reversed card, however, things in your world might seem hopeless at the moment, and accidents might be just around the corner, but in the same as the positive one, the wheel is turning. So even though things seem hopeless at the moment, that's not how they may turn out. They may turn out quite well if you keep a positive attitude, if you don't let it all swallow you up. Richard Bach said, "There is no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hands. You seek problems because you need the gifts." So remember that. You seek problems because you need the gifts. This is the 10th card in the major arcana. And in the ancient text, 10 was a perfect number. And the wheel itself signifies perfection, as it is in itself circular. You know, the Zen circle thing. The snake slithering down one side of the wheel represents the Egyptian god Typhon, the god of evil, and the life force descending into the material world. Although chance, which is signified by the spinning arm of the wheel, just like on one of those lucky wheels, has a role in any of our undertakings, this card signifies that your plans and ambitions will come to fruition in the fullness of time, indicated by the crown of fortune and the olive leaves on the north-south line. For the yogis among you, this card is all about karma. What goes around comes around. So in order to make the most of this card, keep on volunteering, keep giving away. Don't think about, if I give this, what will I get back? Or, well, I have lost it, or I haven't got much. Just give away what you can and it will come back, but you don't know what direction it will come from. So you might give in this direction, but it comes back in that direction. I'm always reminded of that because I have several irons in the fire. So, you know, I might advertise yoga, but I get tarot readings, or I might advertise tarot readings and I get new yoga clients. So I never know how it's going to work out. If you're like me, you just love to see the Wheel of Fortune appear in your tarot readings, because it means that it doesn't matter what's happening, things are going to change for the better. You're in an upward moving spiral, and maybe even slightly a Midas touch, so that even when things look bad, they actually work out well. If you're going to gamble or take risks, now is the time to do it. The risky part holds chance for you, so take that chance. So adversity is a natural part of life, and you have to expect it from time to time. So don't dwell on the negative. Look for ways you can face and conquer adverse circumstances. Inside every crisis is the potential for good fortune, just like the lining, silver lining, or the light at the end of the tunnel. There's all kinds of little phrases in usage to indicate that things can get better. If you're reversed, it indicates perhaps a little bit of stubbornness here. Someone unwilling or unable to adapt to new conditions and different situations. So don't lose hope. Even if the world seems in free fall for you, it's just practice for wonderful. The gods of fortune carry the wheel onwards and upwards. They don't have you marked for an end. Just know that however bleak things seem at the moment, everything could turn out fine depending on your attitude. If you allow it to swallow you up, it will. Now is not the time to gamble on anything. Consolidate, 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 and no careless risks, please. So with your lovely meditation journal, I hope that you're using it. Write things down. Write down your meditations on that card when you have it in front of you. And remember to write down what you feel about it, any thoughts, any ideas, any visions that come to you, any dreams that you have about it. It's a really, really wonderful card and invites you to do a lot of writing. If you haven't tried keeping your journal, really do. Don't just get a lovely book and think I'm going to write in that one day. Start today. So go to my book site, which is www.myyogabooks.etsy.com, and see what you can find there. There's all kinds of things I've written on the yamas, on fortune telling, on pendulums. There's a lovely pendulum scrying board, everything there for you for yoga and tarot. Have a lovely day. Today is Saturday here. I'm going to go into the garden. Namaste.